This episode of Real Garbage is brought to you by feeding edibles to the elderly. Shut the fuck up, Mary.
No! Oh, I'm so grounded. This episode is also brought to you by heartburn. Thanks, Chinese food.
Do you want to do one? You don't have to.
This episode is brought to you by Katie's grandma. Talk nerdy to me. There you go. That's all I got.
This is Real Garbage.
She's like our number one fan. Fuck you
Well,
guys.
it's just the episode's dedicated to her then. There you go. That's a good thing.
No, my grandma's like, they're too long.
See? Well, she's not our demographic.
No, she watches Judge Judy.
We're not
And
really
Dr.
going
Phil.
for that age range, but, you know, listener's a listener.
Yeah, that's true.
Never know. She might be like, this is the cure for everything.
Yeah.
My dementia's going away. I don't know if she has dementia, does she?
She
No.
does not.
Okay.
She's so alert.
Really?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's, it's not polite to tell. She's 39. No.
Like plus
she's-
50?
No, she's not 89.
Well, I don't know how old grandmas are.
She's like 70, but she has the youth and maturity of, I want to say, like a 30-year-old.
Wow.
And she's really healthy. Like, she doesn't have hearing aids. She doesn't have a cane. She doesn't have a walker. Like, she's really, yeah, she's fit as fuck. Yeah, my grandma's buck wild.
Wait, your grandma's buck wild?
Yeah.
She's got that 30-year-old energy.
She's buck wild. Sometimes I can't keep up with her. Like, she'll be up later than I am. I'll get home at like midnight, 1 a.m., and she'll be in the living room drinking wine, watching shows, and she'll be like,
Watching the
"Hello?"
stories. What does she
Yeah.
watch?
She watches NCIS, Killing Eve.
Regular TV?
Yeah. She'll watch Netflix, but
Network
she
television?
likes- yeah.
It's the
Survivor.
It's the commercials. It's just ingrained in people.
No, we PVR everything and we
Oh,
fast
okay.
forward through them.
Okay, that's
My
good.
grandma's like, I can't do commercials.
No, I go home for like holidays and shit, and my parents still have network TV, like cable TV.
Whoa.
And the commercials come on. It's jarring.
Yeah, you're like, ah!
If because now like YouTube's just getting smothered with them every time an ad will come up on my phone. I'm just like,
I won't.
Then I realize I could just mute it.
I won't
but I would
watch
yell
a
over
video
it before.
if there's an ad. If an ad pops up, if it's at the beginning of the video, fine. I've already committed to watching it. But if the video stops for an advertisement, I'm like, I don't need to finish this top 10 list. Oh, top 10 Harry Potter characters. Advertisement cuts in at number 7. Done. I only need to know the last 3. I don't give a shit.
The meteor has been clocked at 8,000 miles per hour, heading straight for the. Oh, you can get Dove moisturizer. Fuck
Who
this video.
cares?
I don't even want to know.
Yeah. I don't care if I die. Who cares?
Katie, it's coming for the earth. I don't care. I don't need the moisturizer.
Yeah. Who cares about Dove?
The moisturizer, the skincare regimen you've got me on. Damn, my skin is just amazingly
I gotta
smooth.
get you on skincare.
It's nice. I don't look as
I
tired
I got
anymore.
Brandon on skincare. He's-
It's funny because she's like, if Brandon doesn't moisturize in the morning, he was like, oh my God, my skin feels so tight.
Yeah.
And it does, though.
Yep.
It does.
Restoring your skin's
'Cause I-
natural moisture
I
barrier.
went-
Skin doesn't feel tight.
Well, like when you wash your face
if
and shit.
I give you a sample of a moisturizer and you use it for a week and then you stop, your face is gonna feel so tight.
Then I don't want to get addicted to the moisturizer.
That's basically what it is.
Yes,
'cause,
you
yeah,
do.
Within 10 minutes of not moisturizing after a shower, if I leave the house, I'm just in the car like,
Drying up.
God damn it.
No, because your skin has a natural moisture barrier, and throughout the years on planet Earth, without
As
taking
humans.
without taking care of your skin, the chemicals, the pollutants in the environment, just natural aging, sun damage, stress, poor diet, like so many things affect your skin and you don't realize it until you start actively taking care of it. And then you're like, holy shit. Like I did a mask.
Yeah, shut up.
It's
Yeah,
true.
nah.
I did
I
a
had
mask.
an exfoliating mask and then a mud mask afterwards.
I did a
little
mask.
moisturizer on there after.
I did a mask on Brandon for the first time ever in his whole life last week. And he's had blackheads like on his cheekbones right here and on his nose. all gone. And then I slapped on some night serum, gently exfoliating, brightening, vitamin C, and he put on his moisturizer after, and he woke up in the morning, and he was like,
He's like, my skin can breathe.
yeah. I will give you some samples.
I don't want any.
Yes, you do.
I don't
Do
want
you
any.
want to look all wrinkly and dehydrated like,
It's like-
a walnut?
It's like me with heroin. You know I'd like it too much. I'm like, no, I don't want it. I'm good. You tell me it's good. It's fine. I believe you. I don't
Yeah.
need it though.
Yeah, maybe you're right, but I'm not gonna jump on this bandwagon. You know, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. God forbid you take care of your skin. Ew.
I don't even have that bad of skin though, right? So, yeah, you're like,
Do you
How do we get talking about skin?
I don't know.
I said something about skincare.
Oh my
right?
God. Speaking of skin, I have a funny anecdote from work today. So I was closing the shop and I'm dusting and there's dust everywhere. Like it's a dusty world. And one of my coworkers is like, "Oh, fun fact, did you know that dust is like 80% dead skin?" And one of the new people, he just started and he was like, "Oh." He's like, "Yum." And we all started laughing. And then he was like, "Who have you tasted today?" And I just killed myself laughing. And I was like, "That's going on the podcast."
As he starts like licking the air.
Yeah. Who have you
Cleaning
tasted
everything
today?
off. Oh my God.
I like to go under the couch.
I find I don't vacuum under the couches very often, but there's usually snacks under there, like pieces of popcorn or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh man, I had like chicken 3 weeks ago.
When this is done, I'm going right under these
Well,
couches.
what do you got under here? Oh man, a little bit of hair on there. It's
See,
fine.
the best part for me, my favorite place to find snacks is when I'm leaving a movie theater. I'll like find snacks in my bra,
Oh, they're
and
good.
I'll be like, "Popcorn."
Like other people's snacks. Have
No,
you ever?
mine.
Okay, they have that little popcorn animation at the start of the movies. Where it's like Colonel.
Yep.
And they go putting in flavor boosters. Have you ever actually put M&Ms in your popcorn?
No,
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never done that. I don't.
It's
It's
good.
awesome.
I'm not doing that.
You should.
I'm
try
not
it.
doing
I'm not doing
skincare. I'm not putting M&Ms in my goddamn popcorn.
You gotta put M&Ms in your popcorn, bro.
No.
It's
It's
so
seriously
good.
so good, though.
Salty and sweet, crunchy and crispy.
And I think I didn't
Savory.
even do it on purpose. I think I just wanted to eat one, and it was like, oh, and it flipped into the bag, and I was like, oh no, it's all covered in butter and popcorn now, and I ate it all together, and was like, ah. Seriously, so good.
Brandon won't let me do that because he hates popcorn. And whenever we go to movies, like
Hates it.
You know what?
the only
Fuck
popcorn.
Brandon.
Yeah, the only popcorn he likes is kettle
Yeah,
corn.
me and Brandon,
Sorry,
we're
Brandon.
done professionally. We're done as anything. We're done personally, professionally.
You can
we're
never
done.
come to the movies with me
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, no, he does not like popcorn. Does not.
That's a weird thing to dislike.
Even when we're in Disneyland and they have that popcorn, he does not like it.
It's like caramel corn. Any
Not a
sort
fan.
of popped corn
He
at
likes
all? Different flavor?
kettle corn. That's it.
That's like a sweet
Occasionally, yeah.
What exactly is kettle corn?
Well,
That's like caramel corn, like
yeah, but not
candy
covered.
corn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but very rarely will he eat it.
Well, I think that most people rarely eat candy corn. Like,
not-
think
No,
Christmas
but
time.
no, I just mean popcorn. Like he'll
Yeah.
he'll rarely ever eat. He does not like it.
I ate
so
popcorn
he
for
won't
dinner
let-
the other night.
Well, he's probably gonna live forever because popcorn's not good for your insides. I hear it scratches things up.
I
know
can see
what?
that.
Yeah.
I got an air popper.
Oh,
I fucking love it. That thing
Yum.
pops every corn kernel perfectly. So you never get like I've chipped fillings and shit eating like unpopped kernels. It's just ravenous with the popcorn. Ah. But now, yeah, there's no unpopped kernels. It's crazy, and there's no oil in it. Nothing. It's
Yeah.
just hot air. It's amazing. I got it on Amazon
I love air poppers.
with Amazon Prime, free
Not
shipping.
sponsored.
I fucking love free shipping. I got a kettlebell, a 40-pound kettlebell, free shipping. Like they want to cost me like $60 to ship here. It's ridiculous.
I thought I saw a fucking ghost down there.
There's a fly flying around there.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe that was what I. thought
That's
was
just Norman. Ignore him. He's fine.
The other day at work, I got so spooked that there was a ghost in the place. I was upstairs doing my cash out, and I heard this like rustling noise that sounded like someone was like rustling around in the dish pit.
obviously a ghost thing.
And there's more. I go and look at the cameras because I can see them all, and I'm like scanning all like 9 or 12 of them, and I'm like, where's the fucking guy? Where's the fucking guy?
Right behind you.
I thought someone might have been in the bathroom when I locked up, and I was like, oh my God, someone's in here with me. And I was looking and I didn't see anyone. And then on like a camera that's up in the top part of the restaurant, I saw something like zoom, and I was like, ah! And I'm like, I'm not doing my fucking cash out. I'm getting out of here. And then I go downstairs and I go to leave and I'm like so frazzled. I'm like, what's a fucking code to lock up? Like, I can't be in here.
Is that the yacht?
Yeah.
It's kind of a creepy place when you're there by yourself.
And then I turned around and there was like, my back is turned.
Fuck, that scared the shit out of me.
I should have let it rip.
Yeah. I'm in a corner and my back is to the opening and I just got goosebumps and I turned around and there was nothing there, but I jumped. I was like,
you know what it was?
oh, what?
Crazy Dan from next door. He's high on crack in the bushes.
Fuck no.
Let's need some ice, man.
Oh.
Could have been.
No, I was petrified. My adrenaline was spiked. I didn't know what to do. I've never had that feeling before. And I was like, is this paranormal? Because I don't like it. I was like, I don't like this paranormal activity.
Have you seen the preview for the new scary movie that's coming out? It's based on that book, Scary Stories to Tell in the
Yes.
Dark.
Yeah, it looks good.
Fuck!
With Guillermo del Toro at the
So
helm.
there was one story in there particularly that made me terrified of spiders.
Have you read the book?
Yeah.
Is it one book?
I believe it is. I believe it's
Yeah,
just
it's
one book with a
bunch of
series of
stories.
short stories in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on the preview, they show the one that made me fucking terrified
she
of
has one
spiders.
spider.
Yes.
Oh.
It like lays an egg sack in her fucking face, and it hatches on her face like 4 days later. And I'm reading that, I remember just getting creeped out. And I see that on that preview, and I'm like, no! Why would you do this? Like, I'm not a big fan of anything scary these days because they're not really scary. But I'm
Yeah.
like, this could actually be freaking terrifying because this is from my childhood and it was something that's like scarred me.
Yeah.
You know what scarred me? I've talked about this before. In Pet Cemetery, in the original one, where Gage is brought back to life and the old man is searching for him and Gage is under the bed and he cuts the old man's Achilles. I cannot to this day wear open-heeled shoes. I cannot.
So you don't wear flip-flops in the summer?
I wear slides, but I wear my pants like this. Oh my God. Ow.
Cramp.
Yeah.
Drink water. Hydrate. Or just stretch it out.
I did not drink any water today. I
I've
had
been-
coffee and orange juice and chocolate milk.
Jesus Christ. I'm hitting that keto hard. You know, it's all keto. Juice, coffee, straight up chocolate milk, all keto.
The past week, I've been saying like, I'm gonna try keto, and then every day I say that the first thing I eat is something carbs or sugar.
Because that's the best way to break your fast.
Fuck
with
yeah.
sugar and carbs. Get your cereal
Chocolate
now.
croissant, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Pancake puppies, yeah.
What the fuck is a pancake
Oh,
puppy?
Denny's so good.
Oh my God, pancake puppies will change your fucking life.
I haven't been to Denny's in years because I haven't been out
I haven't been to
downtown
Denny's in hours.
hours. I've been there like since this morning.
Hey, I work across the street. No, but pancake puppies are like pancake batter, and they're the featured pancake flavor of Denny's. Sometimes they're blueberry, one time they're chocolate chip, one time they're strawberry, and they're donut hole size. They're Timbit size, and they're deep fried, and you dip them
They're
in.
warm.
and
they're-
cheese
and you-
cream icing.
yes.
It's so good.
Ah!
Yeah, it's so good.
Okay, those sound pretty damn
They're
good.
so good.
Have you guys been to Sydney Bakery lately?
No.
It's delicious.
I
in
went there last week.
What, you didn't like it?
No, I got a whole lemon meringue pie,
Yeah.
Ooh.
2 blueberry filled powdered donuts, which were fucking unreal, and a blueberry cream cheese stick. And I ate the 2 donuts and the cream cheese stick and probably a quarter of the pie, and that pie was huge. And I ate that rest of that pie over the next 24 hours. Like I wake up in the morning like, couple pieces of pie for breakfast. Eating pie when I got
Yes.
home. Like, oh, I just climbed to eat some pie. Got the munchies, pie. It was that's so good though. I'm like, how much is the pie? She's like $7.50. I'm like,
You're like, that's a steal.
give me a pie. 'Cause the only time I ever have lemon meringue pie, whenever I go home for their visits, my aunt she's like, oh, I made you a lemon pie. I'm like, right on. And my
Right
grandma would
on.
always make a lemon meringue pie.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only time I ever eat it. But I saw that at the bakery. I was like, I need to have it. It's so good.
City Bakery's quality.
Yeah.
Oh, everything there is delicious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you
Yeah.
were joined once again by Evan Macdonald.
Woo!
And he decided we needed to watch Terminator Genysis, the 5th installment of the Terminator series that's not counting the television series,
Yeah.
the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Which is a great show too.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
And Lena Headey is Sarah
Yeah.
Connor in there, and
she's
Lena
great.
Headey
Oh, really?
is Cersei.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been in a bunch of. I can't think of anything else she's been in now ever since watching Game of Thrones
Yeah.
for 8 seasons. Like I remember
She
she
was
was
in
the husband. She was the wife in
300.
in 300.
Oh, she was in Dread too. Do you see Dread?
The new updated
Judge
one.
Dredd
it was
movie?
so bad.
What?
It was so bad. It all took place in one building. It was
See, this-
Evan's
so
leaving.
bad.
This podcast is over already. This is over. You didn't like
Well, we
Dread?
can do Dread. We'll do Dread
Oh,
down the road.
Yeah, we'll do Dread. Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll do Dread. I'm like one of the advocates behind the Get Dread a sequel campaign.
No,
Like, yeah.
you know what? Make a sequel to the original Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone and Rob Schneider.
Oh, yikes. Oh, yikes.
That
the original
one.
Judge Dredd, yeah.
You
broke
broke
the
the
law.
law. So good. That fucking robot, the giant robot, the ghetto robot.
I'm fucking walking right now.
I'll show you.
I'm walking out of here right now.
My buddy Tyler and I, we watched that one at Christmas time and recorded ourselves watching it.
Yeah.
And I cut like a 10-minute video of it. It's on YouTube. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No,
we just make
I'll
fun of
watch
it,
it.
but it's all cut into like a 10-minute video. It's worth checking out.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
Because
yeah.
we're picking it apart because it's so stupid. It's so classic, but it's so stupid. Judge Dredd. Okay, all right. So Terminator Genysis.
Terminator
You're a big fan of this movie. The critics and other fans weren't so much fans. Though.
Yeah.
It was made in 2015 with a 26% from the critics and a 53% from the viewers.
And a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's not bad.
Interesting.
That's not bad. There's a few select people online, like critics, who are I'm like I'm not alone here. Like they're like this
Well-
movie was misjudged.
Yeah.
I will say when we were watching Jurassic World for our last podcast when we had Evan as a guest, I went into it thinking like, yes, this is going to be our like love movie, high scores. Like I remember loving it, and then watching it from an analytical perspective, I was like, this kind of shit. And then I thought this one, because scores were low, I hadn't seen it in forever. I was like, I can't remember anything about this except Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, therefore,
Smiling, attempting to smile.
Therefore, it's gonna be shit. And then rewatching it, I was like, yeah, no, I like this. I was like, I forgot about how much I like this. And then I texted you that, and I was like, this is gonna be a wild ride on the podcast.
What the one getting
This
teamed
is
up on
gonna
here?
be like unpopular opinion central.
This movie was totally like I'm telling you. Okay, I'm getting so amped over that because Terminator Genysis gets me like fucking amped because I'm a huge Terminator fan. Have you've seen all of them?
Yes. Wait, I've Rise of the Machines.
That's 3.
Yep. Salvation was the one with what's his face?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Oh wait, Christian Bale and
Sam Worthington.
Sam Worthington. That's
Yeah.
what because
Off
Sam
his
Worthington thinks
Avatar.
he's human.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen those ones as well. Yeah, I've seen them all.
Okay, so
There's Dark Fate is coming out this year.
yeah,
Yes!
I'll tell you, I'm pumped
looks-
for
that
that.
looks
As
pretty
much
cool.
as I wish they made a Genesis 2. I wish they did because I loved this movie so much. But so the Terminator, great movie. Terminator 2, great
Amazing,
movie.
amazing movie.
Most people would argue that it's better, that it's much better than the first one.
I think it is. Well,
I-
they're different.
They're different. The
Yes,
second movie is
yes.
timeless.
Yeah.
Second movie is very timeless. Like
Yeah.
you watch it today and it holds up very well.
Yep.
Oh fuck yeah.
First movie feels like an 80s movie still.
Yes.
But it's got a great story behind it, but the effects are dated.
Yes.
yeah.
But yeah,
the music is fantastic.
The music
Yes.
is great.
Fantastic.
Soundtrack is great.
And
yeah.
it's a classic 80s movie still in all the right ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not the cheesy cliched ways where you're like, "Oh my fucking god, what
Yeah.
the hell?" And it was a totally like unique and new subject
Yeah.
and idea. And this was like James Cameron's pet project.
Yeah.
And I remember reading like Terminator trivia, and he's had his idea for Avatar for ages, since the 80s. And he really wanted to do Avatar before Terminator, but he did Terminator instead because the effects weren't there yet for what he saw Avatar as, which is why it took forever. But seeing what he did with the Terminator in the 80s and those practical effects, it makes me wonder, like, what Avatar would have been like had it come out in the 80s before Terminator.
Would have been ghetto.
Yeah.
Green screen.
Yeah.
Fuck. No. No. It wouldn't have been good.
But yeah, like, Judgment Day is timeless, and definitely
we went and saw it they re-released in 3D
Yeah,
last summer. We went and saw it. It was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went and saw it in the theater. It was awesome.
Avatar was the best. You said Avatar.
No,
right?
T2.
T2.
T2, they re-released in 3D
shit.
last summer.
wow.
We went to see it.
And
Jesus.
I loved how they turned Sarah Connor from someone who is like, what the fuck is happening? I have no idea. Like,
Yeah.
I'm helpless kind of in the original, to a fucking badass, well-rounded character.
Yeah.
Like, for once.
Well, she knew she had to be.
Yeah. And
She knew the future.
just thinking about that, like, Judgment Day came out in like 2000.
93.
Judgment Day
90
was like 93.
92,
It was early
93.
90s, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Around the same
Yeah.
time as Jurassic Park.
That was like,
Yeah.
I think it was like
So-
JP was 93.
Yeah.
I think T2 was
Maybe
92,
92.
I think it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they can make powerful, like, female characters way back then, and even Laura Dern's character in Jurassic Park. But then
I had a crush on her when I was a kid and watched this movie.
Linda Hamilton.
No, no, Laura Dern.
Oh,
The one scene where she's like she like falls and then goes like poof, and looks up and it's like, God damn, she has a cocks one eyebrow. I'm like, it's weird. It's like a
Yeah.
weird like
That
11-year-old
shot you're
crush.
talking about.
The-
That's,
yeah,
I can
you know
say
what I'm talking
that,
about.
Yeah. I had a crush on Jeff Goldblum when he's there, and he's like,
Life
I'm like,
finds a way.
find a way into my room.
I love
please."
I'm
I'm like 7 years old, and I'm like,
I love
so
the
hot.
get in loser meme of him as like, get in loser. We're going. That's all it says.
Yeah.
That's all it says. We're going to find a way.
Yeah. Find a way to get up on that dick.
All right, so I kind of felt like,
Oh, here we go.
I kind of felt like this was just a rehashing, a mashing together of T1 and T2 because they're going back to 84. I'm like, oh, okay, they're supposed to protect her. And like, okay, this is...
But it's different.
Yeah.
He shows up and it's different.
and she's prepared. Yeah,
That's
it's,
the whole
it's
point,
slightly
is
different.
The first 20 minutes, you're going,
which is
oh,
pretty
this
cool.
is a remake of the
Yeah,
Terminator.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, Arnie's there, so he got sent back. See, now, here's a question. Did they make was one of the other movies centered around her being attacked when she was 9?
No.
No.
That's
Okay, so
new.
that's just
a
a
new
made up
development.
story.
In
Storyline
fact,
that we don't
this-
know.
This like here's the thing with Terminator, because people go, oh, like I'm confused. There's too many reboots, hey? But there's fucking not that many reboots. There's Terminator 2,
Yeah.
Terminator 3, and Terminator 4. Those are all connected. And then this movie, they went, we're gonna reboot it.
Yeah.
So it's one reboot. It's one reboot. And now Dark Fate is actually fucking the second
A
reboot.
continuation. Well, that's just
Yeah,
a continuation. I guess that'd be Terminator
Dark
3 then.
Fate is James Cameron's, like, Dark Fate is number 3.
Yeah.
Dark Fate is number 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty fucking cool.
Forget about
Everything else.
inflatable boobs to get out of a fucking traffic violation. Forget about it.
So
I'm so bitter about that movie.
Oh, T3?
Yeah.
Ugh, yuck.
I'm so bitter
Yeah.
about it.
See, Terminator 3 is just a rehash of Terminator 2.
Yeah.
It's boring.
I
Yeah.
can't remember. That's the one with the chick Terminator?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
Arnie's like bad at the end and he's like smashing the hood of that truck
Yeah,
in that
exactly.
one.
to
exactly.
prevent
Yeah.
himself from
Oh, that's right.
hurting
He's like,
Catherine
where'd you-
Brewster.
bah,
Yeah.
beating the shit out of the truck.
Yeah.
And then Salvation was like going into the future war, which is a super cool idea, but they fucked it up because
Yeah.
they didn't paint it like what those flashes were.
Mm-hmm.
In the first 3 Terminator films, the Flash of the Future is like dark, purple laser guns,
Yep.
and just like gritty like that, right?
Yeah.
Salvation was like Mad Max.
Yeah.
That's what they went for.
Yeah.
They went for like a Mad Max look.
Well, did they have? They all have different directors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
nobody's been on the same page.
Yeah, see that
Yeah.
that's where you
Yeah.
lose
Not since
viewers. is-
Judgment Day.
yeah, if you don't keep the same director, or at least directors that think similarly,
Yeah.
you're gonna get different fucking outcomes each time. Like I don't understand. Like so, The timelines.
Yeah, throw your problems at me, and I'll
Okay. Actually, you know what? No, I can sensibly argue this and probably agree with you guys that everybody thinks time is linear.
Yeah.
Time isn't really linear. That's why time travel is a thing. That's why already established futures can be traveled away from and traveled back to later.
Yeah.
And then you get like a whole multiverse thing going on here too, because there's like intersecting timelines. He, has memories of when he goes back in this existing timeline, and she tells him, straight line, run, keep running, don't look back, when he's like 9. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it just gets so twisted and convoluted.
Yeah,
And
it was hard for me to follow. Like, even rewatching it, I had to kind of rewatch it. But
because
I got it.
because there's a point where Amelia Clark, like Linda Hamilton, or Sarah Connor, and Kyle Reese are basically like, we got to bang.
Yeah.
Otherwise, John's not going to be there, and we're not going to be friends, and I'm not going to get sent back. So this never happened. So it's like, okay, well, like, it doesn't stick to the old school time travel rules.
But I don't. But the thing is with the Terminator movies, I think, is that the characters don't know how the time travel works.
yeah.
So they're like, we have to follow these rules, or else we don't know what will happen, right? So this movie, I think, is kind of cool because it acknowledges that and plays around with it. Because suddenly now we got things like where John Connor's like, he tells Kyle Reese, he's like, "You're my dad."
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a cool scene, because
Yeah.
I'm like, now we're playing around with like things that are just like these characters, like they're breaking out of that time travel loop, right? And I just think that's super cool.
That's
right?
definitely against the grain of we have to do, like, going back in time, we have to do exactly the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
But they not only like went back in time, they traveled to the future.
Yeah.
Rather, like,
Well, yeah, they traveled to another past.
yeah.
Was for one of them, and then a future for another
Yeah,
one.
they
Like, she went from
traveled-
84 to 2017, which
Yeah.
would have been a fucking shock
I know.
to the system. And she's like, "Oh, it's no big deal. We're fine." And
I think she's too focused on like
this is-
preventing Judgment Day.
they're
Or,
making different. They're making different decisions in the past, which should be affecting the future, but it's not, because like when they're like, "Hey, we probably shouldn't bang," because then he gets born and he turns out to be a piece of shit
Well,
because
no,
someone
he-
else fucked with the future and changed him, and then sent him back to 2014 to guard Cyberdyne before they met in 2017. And how come people aren't dissolving when this is happening? It should be like, "Hey, listen, we're not going to have sex and give
They
birth
were
to
in
you."
2014.
Oh, I'm disappearing. Wait, change your mind. Like it's
Because-
like Back to the Future logic, right?
Because it doesn't follow the Back to the Future rules, I guess. Right? I guess.
This is just tough as a viewer to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, they don't go to 2014, do they? They
No,
go from
no, they go to
84
2017.
2017, yeah.
John travels back to 2014, he says, because when he
Yeah.
gets transformed into the nanobot Terminator,
Oh.
Matt
he
Smith
gets
sent
sent
him
back
Yeah,
to
right, right,
2014 to guard Cyberdyne, because he knows they're going to show up at
Right.
2017
Yeah.
and try to take over.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, it's
Pretty wild.
2014.
But like,
I really liked the fact that John Connor got turned into a Terminator.
I like
that
that,
was
too.
that's pretty cool.
And I
That-
like that he does. It's almost like you don't really know if he's still him.
Yeah.
I like that. He's kind of torn, right?
Yeah,
Between like,
Although this is traveling so far ahead into the movie before we get into like chronologically events, but the line, "Hi, mommy."
does he say?
Who
Yeah,
said-
I had
does he
to.
just say hi, mom?
Who said hi, mommy?
No. John Connor when
when
he
he goes in the hospital?
Yeah, when
Pretty
he's
sure
in the
he just
hospital.
says hi,
He
mom.
does. I rewound it and I put on subtitles and he's like, "Hi, mommy," and I was like,
No.
No, I don't believe this. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it.
I'm
up
gonna.
on
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
I'm siding with Evan.
Yeah.
No.
"Pause the podcast.
No.
Go on YouTube.
No.
Prove me
There's
right."
No way.
So I
Hi, Mom.
literally said, "Ew, hi, mommy, ew."
I
Excuse me.
I am 99% confident he says hi, mom. Nope. Really?
I will bet Pancake Puppy.
All right. That's all right.
Because I had to rent this movie and I have 48 hours with it still.
I have it on 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah, I
'cause
thought-
love it so much.
All right, let's get in. So the start of the
time
movie.
travel sucks in movies. That's just
Yeah.
the matter of fact. The
Well,
time
it's
travel's
just-
confusing, and it's
yeah.
always going to be confusing. And
It's not
unfortunately-
explained clearly.
And unfortunately, with this movie, because this was a reboot and they were trying to get new fans in, they didn't make it easy
No.
at all.
No.
They made
And
it so difficult
They made it
to
as
follow.
difficult as they could.
They were
If you're a
still.
fan like me, who's knows all this shit,
Yeah.
and I'm a fucking nerd about it, I get it, like almost 100%. But like, you know, they're like, we want to get like the 15, 16-year-olds to come in and see this. They're not gonna know what the fuck's going on.
No.
Yeah.
It's like,
So-
I even made a mark, like the hour and 10-minute mark. It's a 2 hour and 5 minute long movie.
Yeah.
They're still introducing aspects of this story. I'm like, okay, you're already past the halfway point. You're past the point of where you should be introducing new plots to this movie.
Yeah.
1 hour, 15 minutes. They're still adding parts to the story. Too convoluted. I can't remember what it was, though. It was when John had now become a nanobot Terminator. Now he's in 2017, like talking to somebody like, oh, we're going to do this. And then, you know, when we mold into Genisys, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, Matt, there's even still more like complications to the story. I'm like, stop it. You've already made it complex enough. Fuck.
Okay.
I'm thinking too much. I'm not enjoying it. I'm thinking.
Can you go over with me kill Skynet before it's born?
Yeah.
Like, so to kill Skynet before it's born, they go to the future to prevent it from launching.
Yeah.
And he told himself as a
Yeah.
child how
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, he told
and
you
had that memory.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a little bit wild.
Well,
Yeah.
because it hadn't happened yet.
Yeah.
As he's traveling back in time, that's when he gets the memories.
Saw the nexus point.
Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to see Matt Smith. He grabs John Connor, right?
Yeah.
He
so
wasn't supposed to see that. And because he saw that, and that changed the timeline. Because
Yeah.
once he saw him, because Matt Smith grabbed John Connor, turned him into a Terminator.
I was like, it's not going to be that easy. You thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt Smith is in the movie for like all of 10
I'm-
seconds.
What else is
Finish
Matt
it.
Smith in? He looked
He was
Doctor
Doctor
familiar.
Who.
Who. He was Doctor Who.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's a rumor that he's in the new Star Wars, but nobody's confirming
It's the
that.
last Star Wars movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the
the Rise of
saga.
Skywalker.
Yeah.
Saga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So there could be more.
Oh yeah,
There
there's gonna be
are.
a lot more.
Yeah.
but this
Okay.
is the
Yeah,
last of
'cause-
the Skywalker.
Oh, I got you. Because I was thinking like, yeah, it's weird. I thought they were going to make more.
Yeah.
Maybe because Rogue One didn't make any money.
Rogue One did make money.
Yeah.
Not
Solo.
much. Not much.
Solo.
Oh, Solo. Solo was right. Yeah,
Solo,
Solo
yeah.
didn't make any money.
Rogue One was
Yeah, Rogue One was good.
fucking killer.
I think it was you telling me about Solo. They
Yes.
spent like $150 million on advertising and shit, and then $150 million in the budget. I don't think they made $300
no.
million.
No.
And then they had a Boba Fett movie in the works, but then when Solo didn't perform well, they were like, cut it.
Yeah, no.
Cut it.
Yeah.
I think they should do a Jar Jar Binks movie.
Solo
Trilogy.
is the most expensive Star Wars movie ever made because of the reshoots and the marketing, and then it just bombed.
Yeah.
I recorded this.
Yeah.
Try not to be
I've
too.
been like holding back.
No, let him go. Let him go. We compiled these. Katie had a really good one on Raiders. I made a note of.
Did I?
That was your first like out loud one, and you're like, I think that was my first burp ever on here. I'm like,
My
yes,
God.
perfect. Because when I do the mega compilation, I'll just have you at the end. It's going, oh, excuse me. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
God, Jesus.
So I made a note. John Connor rescued his 10-year-old father
John Connor rescued.
in the beginning sequence. Like he rescued
Oh,
young
he
Kyle
rescued
Reese.
Kyle. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did he know that was his father?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. The whole
So he
the
must have sought him out.
the general like. Well, here's the thing with the Terminator.
Please explain it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The Terminator, the first Terminator is its own, like, even the second movie even debunks shit from the first movie. In the first Terminator movie, it's basically implied that it's a loop.
Mm-hmm.
The Terminator gets sent back, and then Connor sends Reese back. Then they fall in love, then they conceive John Connor, and then he sends him back in the future.
Yeah.
Terminator 2, at the end of it, they prevent Judgment Day,
Yeah.
which would then fucking stop that future from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means Reese would never be sent back in time to father John Connor.
Yeah.
So Genisys doesn't even really consider 2. It really only takes into effect 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah,
Weird. Why does it do that? Does it do it on purpose?
I think so.
Yeah.
So,
So by
because at the
so-
end of the first Terminator, Linda Hamilton's recording the tape.
yeah.
And,
and
she's
she's
telling
pregnant.
John.
Yeah.
She's saying, he's your father.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? This totally has like a multiverse kind of feel idea to it.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, oh, Terminator 2 never happened.
Yeah.
We've just made a sequel to Terminator 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because by preventing Judgment Day, logically, John should have then not existed.
Not have been
Yeah.
born.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's totally multiverse.
Yeah.
Shit. Fuck.
Yeah. It's
Which makes it more like in depth and enjoyable, because then it makes you really rethink Rise of the Machines
Makes
and
me
Salvation.
makes me believe it a little more.
Yeah.
Wait, what's Rise of the Machines was 3?
Yeah.
Okay,
Where
yeah.
John Connor was a fucking bum.
he's a heroin addict. In that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking horse tranks under the bridge.
Fucking ketamine, man.
Yeah. And Catherine Brewster was the real star, because her dad was like redoing Skynet.
I love this. Okay, so when John sends Reese back, he's like, "Oh man, she's not even gonna know who I am. Like, there's no way she's gonna believe me." He's like, "Listen, just tell her this," and he gives him like 3 sentences.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, "Is he writing this down?"
Yeah.
And I don't. That's a lot to remember.
Yeah. I'm a huge. and I'm such a fucking huge nerd of this. In the first movie, Reese tells her that message.
Really?
Yeah, and
Nice.
he goes, John made me memorize it, but he didn't make him
No.
No,
memorize it.
he
in
told
this
him once.
movie.
He's like, "Here, put this stuff on too, or take your stuff off while you're doing it." And he's like,
Yeah.
getting naked. Like, "Hey, what was that last word? How do you want me to word that?" It seems silly as all. I'm like, because like that dude Nash, this guy Nash had a comedy bit about it where he's talking like, "I wish I could do the stuff that they do in the movies." Like, guys like gets a call from the cops. He's like, "Be here at this address. It's 1157 Kirk Street. Blah blah blah." Park on the road. He's like, "Does anybody have a pen?" Like, nice. That was good.
Right, eh?
But yeah, it's like me. He's giving him so much information. I'm like, you could get the gist of it, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I think John said something like, just be really good and live a good life, and things will work out for the best. Did he actually say that? Yeah, he did. Word for word. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was cool, like when the original Terminator is sent back, old Arnie against new Arnie. That was
Yeah,
cool.
that's a cool scene. This is almost like Back to the Future Part 2 of the Terminator.
Yeah.
They're revisiting events.
Yeah.
And like dancing around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's super cool, right? But everybody, I don't know, everybody shat on the film. Everybody's like, "This is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life." They're like, "This is worse than 3 and 4 combined." I'm like, no.
No.
I'm like, no. Like, it might be complicated, but I love time travel shit.
Yeah.
So,
I did.
No.
Yeah, I did enjoy it more than I thought
yeah.
I did.
A lot of people feel cheated, though, by the fact that it's not R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Dark Fate's going to be R.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And Linda Hamilton's back.
The first one was R-rated too, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, first 2 are R.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Terminator
3
2
is actually R.
Real? Oh yeah.
Yeah, 3 is rated R too. Depending on where you are in the world. But Salvation was PG-13, this was PG-13, and people get pissed.
Well,
Yeah,
because
but
I didn't,
Terminators-
I didn't feel cheated though. I do a little bit.
I didn't think of the rating at all when I
No.
watched this. I was like, no, it's just a
No.
Terminator movie.
I mean, the only thing, really thinking about it, that I could pinpoint I felt cheated about was the fact that, like, one scene from Judgment Day sticks out so vividly to me when, in order to prove to
Oh yeah.
Dyson
Yeah.
that what he's doing is going to cause Judgment Day, he cuts off the flesh from his forearm and rips it off.
Shows them the arm that they have
Yeah.
in the lab. Yeah.
Whereas in this one, Arnold's older T-800 model loses his skin on his forearm again, but there's like no blood, no nothing.
No.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, there's no blood. There's no swearing.
Yeah.
No swearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they
Wait, why does he lose the skin on his arm this time?
He holds it in the acid.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
yeah. Okay, wait, hold on. What was up with that? Where was that? That acid rain
Was it
shower
a
place?
factory they had base dip in?
they set a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they set the trap. I loved how I'm jumping ahead. I loved how her cache of weapons, her bunker, was just basically off of a major highway.
I did.
Yeah.
See,
Where are they? There's tourists out taking pictures. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
there's
park
just
the bikes
school
over
bus
there.
around.
Yeah, she steals a school bus. Like, why would you put your bunker with there's children?
Yeah,
Seems
she's
really odd.
My grandpa there's all these abandoned rooms. And they just like filled it. There's so many rooms full of guns in this movie
Lot of
that
guns.
just get blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's so many like labs that they're just like, no, we don't need all these guns. Fuck it. Yeah.
Guns. Lots of guns. I don't know what is up. I think the ice cubes are bad or something. My drink smells funky.
Their ice cubes are bad.
It smells like something's
Your
like
water's
burnt in there.
bad.
It's not water. It's gin and soda and
No,
lime.
but your ice cubes are made out of water.
Wait, what? How do you make your ice cubes?
Shit.
No, this is weird. Anyway, ignore me.
I did like the sequence where the T-800 is killed by Arnold, and then we're introduced to a T-1000 right off the bat because that's in the timeline of the original one.
Yeah, in 92.
84.
84.
No, a T-1000.
No, the T-1000 was introduced in 92, but in this movie, it was in the 1984 timeline.
Yeah, which I'm like, why? I wrote down, like, why is there a T-1000 in 84 now? Are they just, like, this is the whole, my whole concern with this is, they have time travel. They know they got to kill John Connor, so why wouldn't they just keep going back a few years? It's like that joke about, like, people wanting to kill Hitler. If they go, everyone wants to kill Hitler, it's like it's a tourist trap where you eventually got to kill a baby, and you're like, God damn it, this is a baby. You can't kill a baby, so you go to try and kill John's parents, and you keep going back more and more and more. Like that would make the most logical sense. Is just keep going back further and further. It's just a little competition to keep
Connor bloodline.
Because that's the whole thing. I watched this video it was titled like "You Shouldn't Even Be Alive."
I sent you that.
Yeah, it was you. That thing was awesome.
I
Talks about how
know.
the fact that we're here alive right now, like the three of us, 1 in 400 trillion chance that the events leading up to our birth happened. Like it's just like fuck. You think about that, you're like, man. So.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I know.
No, I can't remember where I was going with that, but I'm thinking like we just keep jumping back further and further in time and killing them her at a younger age than her parents, than their parents,
That's
and
why
just
they
stop,
sent one when she
stop
was
that
9.
chain of events.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. How do you know, right?
Well,
Maybe
that's the
what they're
thing.
doing.
So like they did the 9. So why didn't they go back when she's 5 or 4 or 3 and 2? Like,
Oh, maybe they did in other timelines.
That weren't visited.
but this just it's like
I
leads me to
didn't
believe
make the
that.
fucking
That's,
movies.
but you're defending it.
I am the
You're the advocate of it.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like, there's a limit, right? There's a limit here.
I
to
guess.
this. Like, it's trying to tell a story.
But that's just my critical viewer
Yeah.
thinking. It's like,
Yes.
well, this would be the next logical movie would be let's get her when she's 5.
Yes. All right. Yeah.
One thing I could not get behind is when they time travel to 2017 and they land in the middle of traffic and then Kyle Reese just gets fucking mowed down by that car.
Yeah. What the?
Yeah, and then they're fine, and I'm like,
Is he a Terminator?
okay,
I wrote
Yeah.
that down. Is he a Terminator? Like, he got hit by a fucking car at highway speed.
yeah,
You know what I also don't like? I don't like when he first time travels and he comes through, he's like in fucking pain.
yeah,
And then when he comes through the second time,
Yeah,
he's like,
Ain't no thing.
yeah,
and then a
I
car
get hit
hits
by
him.
cars now.
yeah.
But they never mentioned that again. So I'm like, what happened there?
And then
It's
And
not like
there's-
a bump too. It's
No. And he like wrecks the car. Just
and he
boom.
engulfs Sarah Connor so that she's fine.
Yeah.
And
Not a scratch on them
no,
at all.
and I did also cringe at the dialogue
There's a lot of cringe
where
in this movie.
Emilia Clarke's like, and don't even think that embracing naked meant anything because it didn't. And I'm like,
Well-
this is not the time. And
Nobody's faded away. It must have meant something.
Yeah. But I feel like this movie, as well as a lot of other reboots like Jurassic World we talked about last episode, I think filmmakers are trying to make the rebooted franchises or whatever
Shut off.
more light-hearted and funny and humorous.
Did it fill up? Ah, lame. Oh well.
Audio episode only. But yeah, like filmmakers nowadays are trying to make more like fluffier, lighter, more humorous reboots, which I don't like.
No,
Because
yeah.
it takes away the sincerity and the seriousness of the start of the franchise that began the whole thing. Like the first Terminator, not once is there like a really comedic scene or a lighthearted haha. It's
Yeah.
It's like life and death the whole time.
Yeah.
Like she's trying to get away from Kyle Reese and she bites him right here, which that's another thing that haunts me. The like, ooh, because it's just like a little drumstick.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, meaty. Anyway, but yeah, like it's every decision is meaningful and impactful, and they don't have time to talk about their feelings. They don't have time to talk about shit that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of films are just putting in like empty filler dialogue for
Oh yeah.
no reason.
There's a lot of that in
Yeah.
like every movie. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like, and like a lot of people like get pissed when that Star Wars does that now with all the comedy. I think Star Wars has always kind of had comedy
Yep,
though. So like
I agree.
Like I don't like, you know, when people are like that doesn't
Except
seem like
for
Star Wars.
maybe Empire. I can't
There's
like
a little bit of humor in
is
Empire.
there?
You know, I always had the rift between
3PO and R2.
yeah, those two were always comedic relief, and
Yeah.
there's like that tension between Han Solo and
Luke.
what's her
Leia.
Leia.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They always had a bit of humor going back and
Yeah.
forth, that sexual
Yeah.
tension.
That's
It's probably
true.
the least funny.
Yeah.
Of
Mhm.
the
Of them.
of that trilogy
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I agree though. Yeah, there's
Mm-hmm.
too much. There's too much unnecessary humor in these movies that are trying to kind of have a serious storyline,
Yeah.
right?
This one, I found that Amelia Clark got a lot of monologues,
Yeah.
a lot of really serious monologues.
Mm.
I was like, this doesn't really feel like it fits in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what because you feel like you can just feel if something's right if it belongs to the movie, and she do these stories. I'm like, what the? No, this isn't that good.
And she's probably got like 3 or 4 of them. eh?
Yeah,
Like, in the
Yeah.
whole
quite a
movie.
few
Yeah.
lengthy ones, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, another one. It's like an hour and a half in. I'm like, another monologue. Wow. Because
Yeah.
you think about like Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2, she had a couple of really good voiceover monologues.
Yeah.
Like 2 really good ones. Like
Yeah.
the one she's talking about as the car's going down the road, you see the lions passing by, and she's like, the future did this and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And I'm like, yeah. And then she had another one
When
earlier on.
detailing Judgment Day when she's
Yeah.
at the fence.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Here's the thing. When this movie came out too, I have a problem with one casting issue in this movie. But people shout all over Amelia Clark. I thought she was all right.
Yeah, I
she was
thought
fine.
she-
She's
yeah.
fine in the bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
she's all right.
saying earlier her accent almost came
Dipped
through
a
once or
little bit.
twice, but it was pretty good. Like
Yeah.
she was bang on. And I thought she was just she kind of looked like
She
like,
kinda
looked-
yeah,
I
the
thought so
original
too,
Sarah
yeah.
Connor character.
yep.
And then a lot of people didn't. I really like the actor Jason Clarke who plays John Connor. He's in a lot of stuff right now. I actually like him a lot as an actor. He's
Yeah.
in quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah.
Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney is Kyle Reese.
Yeah.
Huge miscast.
Yeah,
that
Like,
was
huge.
Yeah. Kyle
miscast.
Reese was not this huge, beefy
no.
buffoon.
What the hell was that guy's name? He was in Aliens.
Michael Bean.
Michael
Michael
Bean.
Bean. Yeah.
He's
That was
the
a-
man.
He's
Michael
awesome.
Bean is the man.
Yeah.
I liked him as fucking Johnny Ringo in Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Johnny
yeah.
Ringo.
Yeah.
Looked like someone walked over your grave. Play for blood, remember?
And
I
like-
fucking love that movie.
And like the character, like in the original The Terminator, like when Kyle Reese comes through time, and you're like, this guy's been through shit.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
guy's seen shit. He's
Yeah.
been through shit, and it's like obvious. But Jai Courtney, it's like
He's-
this guy seems like a jock. Like,
yeah.
Like,
he,
Clean
I feel
cut.
like
yeah.
Jai
done much.
Courtney was more. Hello?
That's that fucking thing it's a
Oh.
cover on a water main or something. I've actually
blows.
talked to my boss. I'm like, can we get someone to look at this? He's like, yeah, it's part of water sewer, but they're
part
not
of
going to do anything
sewer.
about it anytime soon. I'm like, I hear everybody driving over it. Clang, clang. People don't even try to get around it. And it's loud when you run it over. Like, it's fucking loud.
I
Scares you.
I think
Scares
more
me.
more appropriate casting was Jai Courtney as Boomerang in Suicide
Oh
Squad.
yeah.
That,
Yeah.
movie,
But
that movie,
not-
I fuck Suicide Squad.
Oh, I actually like.
What?
Dude,
I turned it off.
Another movie to
I-
Yeah,
add
no,
to your
seriously.
guest
off.
Suicide
spot.
Squad. Suicide Squad is another one where I'm like, I didn't get the public reception. I didn't
Oh
get it.
my
I thought it was good.
After Will Smith shot 1,000 bad guys in a row, and then the Joker and fucking Harley Quinn took off on the helicopter, we're like, yeah. I was like, fuck this
Have
piece
you
of garbage.
seen Fanforstic?
Fantastic Four. Fan
Four.
Four Stick.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
what they call it.
the remake.
2015?
I turned it off with 15 minutes left because it looked like they just blew the budget out.
The
And then
last
15 minutes left, we're
15
like,
minutes
oh
is what
shit.
everything happens.
Just do everything on green screen. We can't afford any pulleys or anything. Just everyone stand there and
People said that Suicide Squad was that year's
Four
Fantastic
Stick.
Four, and I was like,
I don't agree with that.
what?
they were both terrible.
No, Suicide
Both
Squad's
terrible.
not bad. It's not. I'm sorry. You know what? No, I'm just gonna stand by it. It's not a fucking bad movie. It's so
Yeah.
far from a bad movie. People were just on that hate DC hype because they didn't like
No.
Batman v Superman.
I didn't mind Batman versus Superman. I thought some parts of the story were stupid. Like when he's about to kill him and he's like,
Martha!
save Marsha. And he's like, wait a minute. What? And he's like, save Marsha. My mother's name is Marsha. And he's like, wait, so was my mother's name. I'm not going to kill you.
That part
We're
makes
friends
sense
now.
to me, though.
No.
I know that it's dumb, but both of their mothers' names were Martha, and they're both like fucking traumatized people.
I
Yeah.
guess. They were
And
so
suddenly Batman sees that he has more care for a human, which is what Batman's afraid of. He's scared that fucking Superman's gonna turn on the planet, and he fears Superman asking to save his mother.
Aw.
It makes
Oh,
sense.
fine.
to
Yeah.
me.
All right,
it makes
fine.
sense to me.
Yeah.
No, I'll give you that. But I fucking loved Aquaman. I
Yeah.
Aquaman's great.
loved
And Wonder
Aquaman.
Woman.
I
Wonder
bought it.
Woman.
I fucking bought Aquaman. I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
buy
great one.
movies, but I'm like, I watched it on acid for the first time. It was amazing. It was
Oh, that'd
amazing.
be insane. Yeah.
Holy shit. Like that opening fight scene with Nicole Kidman,
Yeah.
like, my weapon.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I rewound it twice. I'm like, that was amazing. And then that whole, when they introduce him and he's like, permission to come aboard. I'm like, God damn. I watched that scene 3 times.
Yeah.
Jing, 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 jing. Whoa. It's just so badass,
Yeah.
man. Just a shit
Yeah.
kicker. That one I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman was a fucking awesome.
Yep.
Really
At this
good.
point, DC has been more hits than
Well,
misses.
I watched then the Justice League when they first introduced because I'm like, where did like because she mentions like, oh, that's when you fought so and so, and I'm like, Steppenwolf. You
Yeah.
fought Steppenwolf. I'm like, when the fuck did you fight Steppenwolf? So then I watched
Wonder-
Batman. No, it was
Justice League.
Justice
Oh,
League. Yeah,
right.
and that's when they fought Superman too. And I was like, oh, what the fuck are they fighting Superman for? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, they brought him back. And then I've downloaded Shazam, but I haven't watched it yet.
Shazam's great.
Is it
I
good?
haven't
It's great.
It looked really
Great.
good. And I heard that's kind of like a standalone, almost like how Deadpool was
It is,
standalone
yeah.
from the rest of the universe.
It
kind
is,
of
but
thing.
it's clear. It is also clearly in the universe
Is it?
too. Yeah. There's lots of references and yeah. But
It
you
looked,
know
it
what?
looked all right.
And you know what? I like Justice League too.
It,
Yeah.
it was
Justice
cool.
League.
It wasn't. It wasn't super
terrible.
good, but I'm like,
No.
this is
Yeah.
pretty exciting, and I like the style of it. They're kind of developing that DC style.
Yeah.
And man, like I like it. It's
Yeah,
really good.
it was
But
cool.
like fucking Aquaman, dude. I had no. She told me she was like, it's really good. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I watched it. I immediately watched it again like 2 days later. Like this is a great movie.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, fuck it. But I tried to watch it the second time. I'm like, I'm paying for it. I went to the PlayStation store and I paid like $15 for it.
Yeah.
Got all the behind the scenes shit too, which was neat. Like the making of and all the stunts and stuff. It was
Yeah.
fun. Like it's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
it's good.
man, yeah.
And I heard that there's a movie in development with Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and then Poison Ivy and Catwoman. And
There's a Birds of Prey movie being made.
yeah.
They're filming it now.
Yeah.
And everything. Yeah. I don't know who the others is. Is it Poison Ivy in them?
I
don't
think
know.
so,
I don't know.
and
I know that she's
Catwoman.
in it. Okay.
Hey, why did the young Dyson keep the fucking dream alive after Terminator 2?
I know, like Dyson's.
Because Terminator 2 didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
Oh right.
Okay, now that we figured that out, that makes so much more sense. It does though, because if it did happen, Danny would be like, I ain't fucking doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would happen in what, was it 2000 or 2000?
That would have been with
No,
the events
Judgment
of T2
Day
was
was
90.
97.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So
The
this
events
would have
of
been
T2's 95.
so it would have been 20 years later.
Yeah.
Well, Danny could have been like, well, it might not be that bad.
And John Connor helped them get to the point they are.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause he
That
came
was
back
the
in
shit.
2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I liked the tie-in of the old J.K. Simmons character
Oh, yeah.
O'Brien
he's a great character
being
too.
the
Oh, I
being
love
the
J.K.
cop
Simmons.
Yeah.
that they rescued in the 84 timeline.
Yeah.
I don't understand the detectives that are blowing him off and don't believe him when he's like, these guys are from the fucking future.
Yeah.
There's something going on because he has the screenshots that prove they just
And the
On the
and
highway.
the fingerprint matches, and like fingerprints are your unique,
Yeah.
one of a kind,
Yeah.
Yeah.
attached to you sort of thing.
And-
And he's like, well, I got the same fingerprints as his kid. I'm like, okay, that's
Oh.
enough for you to go, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
this guy has a point.
And O'Brien was there. He witnessed it all.
Oh, here's the question, because you're big. You love the original.
Yeah.
Does O'Brien's character look like an older version of the detective from the first one?
O'Brien isn't in the Terminator.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's just like
In
the original. He was
no,
just someone that was
because
there.
of the change of events. He shows up. Yeah, yeah. I mean, in the original, the Terminator, when Reese is running around the department store, there's cops looking for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's none in there.
No, but it's not like they're like, this is O'Brien.
And those are stupid cops too. Where he's like, oh, I'm getting chased by a fucking monster. He's like, yeah, whatever, man. Like, you're supposed to be alert. You're a police officer. Don't just, oh, let's just cuff him and get out of here. He's crazy.
Yeah.
No, believe him a little bit. Like, how'd you get in here in the first place? Broken glass and shit. No, I just ran in on my own. I always hate cops that are just fucking stupid in movies. Like,
I know.
we watched The House a couple weeks ago. Have you seen that one with Will Ferrell? And oh my God, it's dumb. It's dumb. And there's just one cop in town. They have like an illegal casino in their friend's house with like 150 people at a time in there. And like, he like shows up like, what's going on in there? Oh, nothing. We're just having some friends over. It's like, okay, idiot cop, do some investigation. Like, it's been going on for months and they're still like, I don't know what's going on down that street. Ugh. Yeah, so like there's, these two moron cops in here. I'm like, come on, seriously.
The next sequence of my notes reads as follows. What the fuck is John Connor doing as Homeland Security? Because I totally forgot the series of events. And I was like, ew, hi, mommy, ew. And then I said, oh, Genisys is made by Miles Dyson's son from T2J.
T2JD.
Dude,
Get it right if you're going to abbreviate.
For fuck's sake. Don't roast me. And then I said, I'm so confused because, again, this is late at night and I'm trying to follow the timelines. And then I said, what the fuck? That was when it was revealed that John Connor is a Terminator. And I was like, all this time travel, John Connor being a Terminator, Arnold smiling.
So do you not feel like there's just too much crammed into this movie and they're trying to just throw too much shit at you?
I feel like this part of me feels like this movie could have been divided into two movies, could have been set up to be a sequel.
Yeah.
But I also think
too
that
much.
because the way this movie sequences go, there's really only one movie. It's 1984 and then this one because they're getting rid of everything else.
Yeah.
So it's hard to follow if you're just trying to put this on and watch it. But like really thinking about it, it's easier to follow. This was just at 1 a.m. last night after bartending a busy ass Friday night, and I'm like,
We were texting you like, I just watched Genisys. I don't fucking get it.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Glad I'm not the only one.
I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna have to fucking explain this to me tomorrow.
Yep.
And I'm like, I have one page of notes, front and back sided. Most of it is ew, cringe, Arnold smiling. Oh, and then I said, what the fuck? Can helicopters go sideways?
Oh, yeah, right off the edge of the building.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Tokyo drifting with
And
your
he
helicopters.
fell into it, I guess.
Yeah.
And landed it and caught himself. And then, how did John get a chopper so fast?
Yeah.
All like, he's like, boom, 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 boom. The helicopter flies away, and all of a sudden, brrr, he's right behind them. I'm like, where did the chopper come from?
He gets a lot of shit done. He's a Terminator.
Well,
He
but
can-
did he like turn into the helicopter? Autobots roll out.
Oh my God.
Well, that's like, it takes time to start a chopper up. There wasn't like a second chopper just running next to the
true.
first chopper. Then all of a sudden he just has a chopper. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Is he connected?
I don't know
Wait,
where all the choppers are in San
is
Francisco.
he connected to Genisys already? Is he part of
Yeah.
Genisys?
Probably.
Well, okay, we have to assume that then it wasn't explained.
And then
He's connected to a lot of shit. He's a Terminator.
He's
And
a
then-
Terminator.
J.K. Simmons gets shot in the arm, and I was like,
Like, run
you're
away.
fine? Really?
How does Arnie just sense the Terminator before he sees them? It's like
He
I'm
ha-
watching Third Rock from the Sun, and it's like Sally and Dawn. Dawn just walks in and goes, "Sally," and she's just over there. But it's like he'll go, "Run away, huh?" And all of a sudden, the door gets kicked in, and boom, 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 boom. It's like he knows he's
programming.
coming. So
Yeah.
are like the Terminators all connected on some level?
They're analytical.
Yeah.
Well, but like, or
They're
can he
anticipating-
just hear someone coming up the stairs? Is that it? He's just like, oh
Probably.
shit, sounds like
Yeah.
a Terminator walking up the stairs. Run.
that fuck John Connor's coming.
John Scars looked okay. This is going back a few minutes. When he like gets reintroduced, he's like, "Wait a minute, I don't know if you're really my son. tell me some secrets. His scars looked nasty.
Yeah.
Like they looked like they hadn't properly healed, and like they were fresh. And I was like, ugh.
When he's in the hospital?
No, when he's back as reintroduced as John in 2017, and
His
they
homeland.
first like telling them like, "Oh, hey, I'm here to be on your side."
Oh, okay.
And they just talking like, "Oh, you like this and you like
Yeah,
that.
you
and
like
This
Elton
is your
John."
favorite movie, and you want to sing Rocket Man." But I'm looking at his face, going, "Ugh, his scars look fucking weird. Like they haven't healed." I'm like, he's had those scars for decades now.
Well, that's the after they figure out he's a Terminator.
an imitation of what the
yeah,
scar is?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, it's not really John because his scars look weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they just lost the budget right there. Like,
Which-
fuck, we have no money for makeup.
Which
It's
to
good enough.
me just shows how, like, for lack of better terming, in love with John Connor that Kyle Reese is, because he's immediately like, "Oh my God, it's John," and then Sarah's like, they can mutate to look like each other," and Kyle's like, "It's fucking John."
That's what he says. I know it does that too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Are you stupid?"
He's like, how could you?
Yeah, he's like, "I know he's your son, but you've never even fucking met him. He's my best friend."
Okay.
And then it turns out that he's a Terminator, and Kyle Reese is like,
God damn it, he got me. So the end fight here, our old Pops fights the now just the metallic fucking Terminator. But how does the nano
Protect
how do
my
the
Sarah.
nanomites on this fucking Terminator go through Arnie? He's like like turning into going right flying
Maybe-
up and around him because they're not going through him. Obviously, they can't.
Yeah.
But it's like he's just dissolving back and forth through him. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's not even a robot anymore. It's just magic. It just seems like magic.
Yeah.
It's just like
I
getting
guess so.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because if that's the technology they can attain, then what's to stop them from just making 1 million of those now and just taking over everything? Like, why do you even do the Genisys thing? Just send back 1,000 of those things. You've already made them.
Well, because those things that take a person to make.
Yeah.
And they say in the van, they say that Arnold says Skynet's been trying to make these, but the only person it worked on was John.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can find you can find a lot of people like John, couldn't you?
They're all dead. They killed them all.
Yeah. One note I made. So Sarah Connor says to young Kyle Reese the straight line thing in the timeline, meaning everything that's happening or has happened up until that point will happen
Yeah.
because she's telling him.
Yep.
So the timeline is still on track, and everything that has happened is going to happen again.
So fucked up.
And then I protect my Sarah. I like that.
And
And she's like,
so they spin around in that time machine for quite a while after he like punches a hole through him. That was
Yeah.
kind of neat how he's like, shoot him in the chest. And then he got him just as he was like reforming and shocked him with his
Yeah.
homemade fucking punch
He
thing.
took a lamp and a speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
and
like, what did
turned it
he?
into a
He just pulled
Terminator.
apart a light or a loudspeaker. He
Yeah.
just pulled the magnetic things out. I'm like, what is this? It's kind of cool though, I guess.
and then
And he falls into the liquid metal and becomes a T-1000.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's
But
pretty
it's like-
cool.
How?
Because they didn't want him wearing makeup anymore if they
Yeah,
made any
that's true.
sequels. That's
Yeah.
why. He's like, I'm done wearing the makeup. And they're like, let's turn you into T-1000 then.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
Getting
have to wear
old,
anything.
but not obsolete.
And then at the very end, when they have prevented Genisys,
Yeah.
she's like, I can choose. And then she just like full on kisses
Yeah.
Kyle Reese. And
I can choose you like I was supposed to
Yeah.
anyway.
I was like, I can choose. And I choose to fuck.
Well, there was a moment in this movie where it's like, there's only one thing left to do. And I'm thinking like, I'm doing his inner monologue going like, we need to fuck.
yeah, exactly.
Because
yeah.
we got to fuck for the future. It's basically what it is.
They wrote 2 sequels.
Really?
Yeah, but they never came about because the movie bombed.
Yeah.
So
You know what's interesting?
It was entertaining.
Is
It was entertaining. Like I
this
didn't not enjoy watching it.
yeah,
But
this
that's
movie
being critical.
and Jurassic World came out a month apart,
That's crazy.
and they're both part of iconic franchises.
yeah.
And I think Jurassic World did so well with audiences and critics compared to Terminator Genysis because Jurassic World was very simple. It was an easy watch. You didn't have to think about anything. It was nostalgia on a silver platter. Here you go. Nom, 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 dinosaurs.
I'm sorry. How was that?
Nom, 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 nom. Whereas Terminator Genysis was a movie that you actually have to put thought into and kind of like organize all these different timelines and movies in your head. Still had the same pitfalls that Jurassic World did with regards to taking dark, original, horror-esque material and turning it into more PG-13, lighthearted, ha 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 moments.
Yeah.
But I think that's why this bombed and Jurassic World did not.
Yeah.
It like I said, I was thinking way too much in this
Yeah.
movie. I said to think too much.
'Cause-
And when you're watching an entertaining action movie, you don't really want to think that much.
No.
True.
Like it's as weird, as stupid as that
But
sounds.
name one good record-breaking, iconic movie that withstands the test of time that
Blade Runner.
doesn't make you think. Blade Runner makes you
Love
think.
I know you do.
Runner,
She mentioned that.
Yeah.
Because like I
Blade
think
Runner
did
makes
she
you
tell you
think.
I fell asleep in it?
Yeah.
Twice
I
trying to watch
I
it.
saw a little snippet of that on it. Yeah.
Because I always try to watch it at night when I was stoned. It'd be like 11 o'clock. And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay, make an
no,
hour."
you know, like, I love it, but like it's a slower paced movie. Like, that's a fact.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you got to watch it in the afternoon.
It's like
That's
a 1940s noir
Yeah,
detective.
that's
thing.
why
Like,
yeah,
what it's
that's
like.
a good way to put it.
Yeah,
That's why it's a cult favorite movie and like it didn't do
didn't do well at the time.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, like audiences especially nowadays, they want something like simple, surface level, in their face, easily digestible.
Oh no, I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we discussed it. Glad we figured some stuff out too. Like the
Yeah.
whole idea of skipping Terminator 2 in this timeline. It makes this movie make so much more sense.
Yeah.
It really does. I didn't hate it.
No.
I didn't hate it. You know, was it one of my favorite movies? No. Did it feel like a rehashed idea? Yes, but talking about what we have talked about, it does make more sense as a reimagining of this idea.
Yeah.
And I did find it kind of cool. Like they played it really well. The casting was really good. I did like a lot of
Except
it.
for Jack Courtney. It's kinda
Yeah,
weird.
that was weird.
Yeah.
It should have
That's a
been.
weird-
Who could have been in
You
there
know-
instead?
You know who I heard they were down because I've fucking followed Terminator Productions like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like the other guy who is the other guy who was up for the role, his name's Boyd Holbrook. You ever heard of him?
No.
Look him up right now. Just
'Kay.
look him up, Boyd Holbrook, and tell me if you think he would have been fucking better. Because I was like, that
know-
should have been a no fucking brainer.
You know who I'm thinking of right off the bat? Michael Fassbender.
He's too old. He's way too old.
Fair.
Boyd Holbrook would have been a better choice.
Like,
Look at that guy.
yeah.
You know who else would have been a really good choice for that? Looking at this guy now, fuck, yeah, what is his name? From This Is Us.
Oh.
The dad.
Vigo Migaloglou
Man, is it
Mannequin-
Vigo?
or Milo
Milo
Ventimiglia
something. Milo Ventimiglia. This
Yeah.
guy. Man, that's him.
Oh yeah,
That would have been the
that would've-
perfect casting choice right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, he would have been perfect for it. He looks like fucking Michael Biehn.
Have you seen The Predator?
The new one?
New one?
No.
Boyd Holbrook's the main guy in that.
Oh.
I have not seen the new one.
Yeah, he was the other guy who was. It was down to
Okay.
those two, and they chose Jack Courtney. I was like, what the fuck?
Not a good choice. He
Yeah.
just didn't
No.
fit that. He didn't fit that look. It didn't
No.
even look. It didn't look anything like
Doesn't
Michael.
look like
Michael Biehn.
him. Doesn't
No.
sound like. Yeah, doesn't. You know what? Like I
Yeah,
get,
he
like
would've
I
been
get, like not,
so
but
good.
but if Jack Courtney had to try to put off this like traumatized soldier kind of like, but he doesn't even try. He
No.
doesn't- He went
He's-
to the school
he's
of
very-
Vin Diesel for acting. Like you know.
Lives his life one time travel at a time. Well, you made a really good point there talking about it. You look at him, he doesn't look weathered. He doesn't look like he's lived through an apocalypse. Where
No.
like where
No.
Michael Biehn back in the original looked like he fucking came from a disheveled, just fucking hard ass life in the
Yeah.
future. Like, man, I'm so glad to be back here in '84. Life is fucking easy back here. Except for that Terminator is trying to kill us.
Yeah.
But man, you got running water and hot water and fucking food. I love this place.
You get that impression that when he's looking for Sarah Connor, he's like amazed by like
Yeah.
1984,
Because
right?
because he wasn't even.
he
I
was
don't think
born
his character
after
Yeah,
Judgment
he was born
Day,
Yeah.
in
so-
2004.
was
Yeah.
fucking wild. And like, you know, what's the actor's name in this one?
Jai Courtney.
He doesn't even seem amazed at all that he's back in
No.
'84. Like
He's-
I just time traveled, guys.
Yeah.
Where's Sarah Connor? What's up? Like just
Yeah.
like no
he
big deal.
snags those Nikes in the department store. He's like, oh, my favorite
Oh my
Nikes.
God.
Like,
Yeah.
Total. I wonder how much money Nike paid
but you know what?
for
No,
that
you know-
fucking
no,
shot.
You know what
Oh, yeah.
happened? No, you know what happened?
They didn't pay.
So what happened?
I have a pair of those Nikes. Bro.
Yeah, he does.
I do. Yeah, they're sweet.
But that shot,
So-
just his foot coming
No.
down. I'm like, oh my god,
What?
swoosh.
What
Just
happened?
do it.
What
She's
happened
going handheld.
was the costume designer wanted the exact Nike shoes from the original 1984.
Because that shot is that shot is taken straight from the original.
Yeah.
Michael Biehn
And-
grabs a pair of Nikes, puts them to his foot, and then you see him in the change room.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
That's
I remember
straight
him,
out
I remember
of
him
it.
holding
Yep.
the shoe up to his foot.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
she wanted the exact shoes, and Nike was like, we don't have those. We have like these new ones. She's like, I want the exact fucking ones, and Nike wasn't gonna make them.
Huh.
And then she got the like Paramount or whatever production company
Yeah.
was behind it involved, and then Nike was like, damn, fine, and they made 25 pairs of that specific shoe for filming,
Yeah.
but they weren't gonna make the shoe.
Yeah, they got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to fucking fight their way to it.
Yeah.
Weird.
And I have
Yeah, Nike was
two
super
pairs.
weird about it.
So they could have just called you and you were like,
Well,
oh,
Yeah.
I bought them. I bought one pair before the movie came out, which is like a legitimate '80s pair. It was a heated eBay bid war.
oh my god, eBay
Heated.
bidding wars.
It was intense. I was like in the last 10 seconds, and like 3 or 4 guys tried to fucking and I was like, bam, and I got him. I won't say how much I got him for.
I won't
But,
ask.
$5.
how much?
$5.
They go for a
$500.
pretty penny online. Those ones.
I would guess 300.
That's
Would I be
that's
in the
not that's,
ballpark?
yeah, that's in the ballpark.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
And
That's
then
not bad.
no, and then they re-released them after the movie for a short run, and I bought a pair of those for cheap.
Nice. Are you a shoe guy?
I'm,
Like
No.
I'm those shoes.
Yeah.
Just
He's not
shoes.
a
Yeah,
shoe
and
Not a
guy.
shoe guy, I'm just-
time-
that shoe right there.
Every time I put it on, I'm like,
Always just sets it down like this
Yeah.
with a curtain going about right here.
Mom,
I
come
reenact,
look.
I reenact that shot every day.
Do I look like Kyle Reese?
All right. Okay. We're hitting the 1 hour, 16 minute mark. Jesus. A pretty good length on this one. I'm still going to edit the video up to what we have, too, and then just put the fucking logo for the rest of it. Cause we got some,
No, you know what?
no,
you know
'cause
what
we
you
got
should
some
do?
good stuff
You know what
to
you should
like
do?
45, 50 minutes.
You should edit the video, and then as soon as the video cuts out, make it like the Terminator when it shuts down with its eye and that red dot.
Cool idea.
Yeah,
I like that. That's cool.
I have some pretty good ideas.
Wait, I got a better idea. You know what we should do?
What?
As soon as the video ends, we make it shut off like the Terminator eye shuts off in the movie. I think we should do that.
Is that what you just said?
No, mine's better.
I was like, "Are you?"
I was waiting for you to go like, shut the fuck up,
I was like,
you dick.
"Was I not clear enough?
All right. So, I don't know.
Is that not what I fucking said?"
What's your total ending opinion on this movie? What do you give it?
What did I give?
What
Jess?
made up score system do you
Yeah.
give it?
What made up score system am I gonna do?
9 Terminator
I-
eyes out of 15.
I will give it. I will give it 7 original of those Nike shoes that I can't remember the names of.
Nike Vandals.
Thank you. I will give it 7 pairs of Nike Vandals out of 10. Because once we got the minor confusion of did Judgment Day happen, yada yada, once I realized that never happened, everything fell in place a lot more smoothly for me. And like I said, I think this would have done a lot better if they just made it simple, easily digestible, and cookie cutter, but they took a risk with the different timelines and like changing the future. And as a viewer, I think it paid off. So
As a fan. it
Yeah.
goes off.
7 out of 10. Suck it.
7 out of 10 what, though?
Nike.
Nike
Oh, yeah, Nike
Vandals.
Vandals is right. Just single shoes or pairs?
Paris.
Okay.
Evan.
Oh, it's my turn.
There you
eh?
go.
Oh. Oh. Where do I even begin?
15 out of 10.
Like legitimately, I'd give it like 8 out of 10.
8 what?
8 what?
Fuck.
Out of 10
Has to be
what?
something.
Yeah.
Can't just get 8 nothings out of nothing.
8 nerdy computer engineers out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that are working on military grade AI.
Nice.
Yeah.
8 Bob Lazars out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, I got problems with it's far from a perfect movie.
Yeah.
And it's not going to age well.
No.
Well,
And
nah,
I have
it definitely won't age
problems.
well.
I have problems with some of the dialogue, like I said.
Yeah, some cringe dialogue.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they missed the mark with Jai Courtney's casting, and that's a
Yep.
huge role to miscast.
Yeah, that's the main role aside
yeah.
from the original Terminator and Sarah Connor.
Yeah, exactly. And also bummed that they have that little tag at the end where they tease a sequel.
Yeah.
Where it turns out it's either in the middle of the credits or at the very end.
Oh, I didn't
where
see
it
that 'cause I
reveals
didn't-
that the fucking Genisys system like turns back on.
Oh.
Yeah, so they set up for 2 and 3, and there's just too many unanswered questions. Like, who sent Arnold back?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who sent
Because
Arnold
nobody
back?
knows still.
Yeah, Arnold's like, it got erased.
Yeah.
I don't know who sent me.
So they must have made that with the full intention of doing a
Oh,
sequel.
with doing the
Yeah.
sequels.
Kind of like
yeah.
Last Witch Hunter. They were set up for
Yeah.
a trilogy. Like, oh my God, fucking Dracula
Yeah.
Dracula in New York.
Fucking
Come on.
right.
But you know what? Like, as a companion piece to just the first movie, and it does have a happy ending, just minus that stupid little tease at the end.
Yeah.
So fuck it. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Forgetting about the tease.
Forgetting about the tease.
I didn't even see it. As soon as the credits hit, I turned it off.
There you
So I was
go.
like, I'm done. I'm gonna go outside. Well, it was. I finished it at 12:30 in the afternoon today. I want to build my planter boxes
Oh.
outside and shit. So I was like,
Fair.
I'm gonna go enjoy the sun. I don't need to watch this anymore. I give it. After now establishing that Terminator 2 wasn't even a factor in it, and ironing out
Getting
some
things
details.
straight.
Yeah, I came in with a lower score, but now I'm gonna give it like 6.
Okay.
Nice.
I can accept that.
6.
As long as it's higher than Jurassic World.
6. Have you seen this, boys? Out of 10. No, that doesn't pertain to the story at all.
Have you seen this boy?
Have you seen this boy? That Asian T1000 they got kind of looked like him.
Yeah.
Patrick,
Yeah,
Patrick,
he
Yeah.
does
whatever.
like Robert Patrick.
Robert
Yeah.
Patrick. Yeah.
And they walked the same way, like that
Yeah.
shot with the police, and even the sound of the police shoes like on the ground, that hollow like, yeah.
Yeah. And,
What
but,
do
but
you mean? Doom, boom, boom, boom.
do you think it's fair that Jurassic World has 72%,
No,
and this has
27.
27%?
No, this shouldn't have 27.
No.
No.
It should be at like the viewers. I think they had them at like 53.
53. That's a little
Yeah.
more
It-
accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 60 from viewers. It should be about a 60, but I can understand it.
Yeah.
And the critics should. 26 is pretty low.
Yeah.
Because really, if you're looking at it from the perspective of a complex, written but still understandable story
Yeah.
that leaves a lot of questions unanswered, but not to the point where you're like, fuck this stupid movie.
Yeah.
You're not mad. You're just like, damn it. Like, there's so many unanswered questions. And then, like, alluding to the fact that they were making a sequel, you can understand that, oh, they were going to answer those questions later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This would all make sense if
Yeah.
they did a sequel. It's not terrible. Like, it's a well-written, complicated story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it was given 2 more movies, I think it would be a pretty fucking cool story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
you know what? Like Jason Clarke, who played John Connor, was saying, I heard this in a podcast or a radio interview a couple months after the movie came out. And I hate so much when actors, after a movie come out, they go, oh, yeah, that was terrible. Like, the
Yeah.
actors, like, they don't
You don't
embrace
say
it,
that.
Like,
right?
stand
You should
behind
stand
what
by
you
your
did.
product, right? And Jason Clarke, and this made me like him more because he was like, we fucking made a good movie. And he's
Yeah.
like the fucking American critics like shat all over it. And he's like, it's real unfortunate. He goes, because we had 2 more movies lined up that would have been so cool.
Yeah.
And the interviewer's like, really? He's like, the public didn't like it. He's like, well, it was fucking misjudged. And he's like, I bet in a couple years people will be like, that was probably the best sequel.
It
not,
was, yeah.
not including 2.
It
Yeah.
wasn't.
Right, yeah.
It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
It was good. It was watchable.
cool
It was.
movie.
I was saying earlier, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
It was. It would like at no point was like, God damn it! It was because like there's
Yeah.
been movies. There have been movies that we've watched where I keep clicking the control every 3 minutes, going fuck. I feel like the timer's going backwards. Why isn't this done yet? Ugh. And this one wasn't like that. I was like, I kept checking every 15, 20 minutes, like touching. I was watching from my laptop, just streaming to my TV. I was like, oh, it's 40 minutes left, but I'm like, it's going by pretty quick.
Yeah.
It was. At one point, I was like, man, this is a pretty action-packed movie.
Yeah.
There's only like 5 or 6 times where it lulls to like, okay, we're just a developing scene here, and then boom, action, and then it's like, bam, lulls again for a minute or two, and then boom, action. I'm like, holy shit, like this is going nonstop. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, well, that's
I
an
feel good
hour
about
and
that.
24 minutes. This is a pretty good chunk of time.
Rack 'em
Thank
and pack.
God I don't have to edit the last like half an hour of this.
Yeah.
This is kind of time consuming. Well, Evan, thanks again for joining us.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was
It was
It's a lot of fun.
blast.
Have to get you on. Well, we've already dropped like 4 or 5 different movie titles that we're gonna have to get you back for in this
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 is-
hour and 24 minute
Yeah,
span.
this is a verbal contract
Yeah,
that we
but
have.
when I edit
more-
these later, I make notes. I'm like, oh yeah, that one and that one and this
Yeah.
one and this one. Hey, we need to do these.
Yeah, I'll have to take notes if you guys have me back. So.
Yeah.
Let's bring my
It helps. Well, we got 2 out of 3 doing notes.
Mm-hmm.
It helps.
Plus, I figured since these were your picks,
I had
like,
a lot to say. on
yeah.
it, as it was,
exactly.
You already know what's up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, let's call it there. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye. 0 to 10.
This is Real Garbage.